Hello Marcus.
Hello Nick.
Great you got some time. We are celebrating International Jazz, and I just want to talk to you about jazz and about your idols. Downbeat just recently published a review about your new album. It's all about the journey, and citing that Art Pepper shades is visible in there. So what does this mean?
Actually, the idea was, when I recorded that album, the idea was actually to have a certain, it's like in a meal when you cook, you put in the different spices, and for me it was very important actually to have my own sound, my own playing, my own style of music on that album, but at the same time to have a certain spice of Art Pepper in it. And a lot of people who come to the concerts, who listen to my new album, tell me they can really hear that. Mm-hmm. But at the moment when I play the music, I'm not thinking about, oh, I want to sound like Art Pepper. I'm never going to sound like Art Pepper, I sound like Mark Hauser. But to have a certain influence in it, I think, is a very important point in my work. Not to copy somebody, but to being inspired of somebody.
Being inspired by your idol?
Yes,
basically.
For example.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I got it. It's a good point. And one of your oldest CDs, Tribute to Art Pepper, was the title. So what was the inspiration to that title of the CD?
The inspiration, it's actually, it goes back more or less 20 years. It actually goes back to the time when I was living in New York, New York City, and when I was working with musicians from there, I was always very inspired by Art Pepper. Then finally I got to read the biography of his life, and that actually made the big influence on me. Wow, the way he lived with all the struggles in his life, the way he, even with difficult situations in his life, he still played truly, honestly, his own music, the way he was feeling. You can hear it on certain albums of Art Pepper, the way he was playing. That was the influence that I always thought to myself, I want to record an album when I play just music from Art Pepper. That was actually the opening door to it. With my new album, when people tell me I sound in certain situations, they can hear Art Pepper. That's 20 years of history of my own musical career. But Tribute to Art Pepper was the first step into the style of Art Pepper.
So kind of opening to the door to what you do now,
yes,
and what you intend to do now. So
yes,
being your own true style and being your own true music you're playing. So you're not, as you told me before, you're not copying. You're doing your music, and you don't care about whether it sounds Art Pepper or not. But the influence is there, and you're proud of this influence, aren't you?
Definitely, definitely. For me, that's everything in art is like that. You can talk to somebody who's a painter. Nobody will tell you, for example, a painter, he will never tell you, no, Picasso doesn't interest me. I was never influenced by Picasso or Dali or Miro or Andy Warhol. Whatever it is in the music is the same thing. If you are not influenced by the old great musicians, then I think you cannot really start to come up and create your own style, because you have to learn from the past.
Yeah.
It's not copying, that's a big difference. Not copying somebody, but getting ideas, being influenced.
Yeah.
Charlie Parker was influenced by Lester Young or Ben Webster or whatever, but you have to learn from the past and then go on with your own style. That's what Miles Davis always said. Miles Davis never wanted to go back. He always talked about it. He said, I want to go ahead. I want to go on with my music. I don't always want to play the old crap I used to play, he said, his own words. But what he meant was you have to learn from the past, but you have to go on as an artist.
So talking about what Downbeat was writing, which is the track that you think they meant when they wrote this?
Black Box. Why do I say so clearly Black Box? Because when I was composing, when I was writing music to Black Box, I always write during the night, not in the day.
Okay.
I hate to go to the studio during the day to record music. I hate
That's
it.
interesting.
I don't like it. I like to work in the night because it's quiet. I can concentrate very good. When I wrote Black Box, it has two very important things in that composition. First of all, the simplicity. Pepper liked to play simple.
Yeah.
Simple means not simple in when you check it out. When you check out his playing, then you realize immediately it's not simple, but it sounds simple. But Black Box, the title is actually about the black box in every person. Every person has a black box. You have to decide if you want to open it one day or if you're not going to open it. And I think that night I opened it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. So I regret sometimes, but still I opened it, and that was actually the composition. I would say if Pepper would ask me, what did you write for me? It's Black Box.
Okay, good, thanks. And, recently you played in, I think in Aalborg in a jazz club, so I suggest let's have a quick hear at this. Okay. Now, are there other pieces influenced that way by this real impressive composer and player Art Pepper?
That's a difficult question because
I'm sorry for that. It's difficult.
On that album, it's all about the journey. The title says it's all about the journey. I mean, it's what I'm talking about. My last 20 years of working as a jazz musician, as a musician. In every composition, probably, Pepper shines through a little bit. Sometimes I don't even realize it myself, because I carry that with me. But it's not just Art Pepper, I could say other musicians too. But that's what people say they hear.
That would have been exactly the next question, that it's only Art Pepper, but you just started, so go ahead with that. What other influences are there?
And like every jazz musician, there are influences. It doesn't matter if it's a saxophone player or a piano player or a bass player or a drummer. I get influenced by different kind of musicians, but recently I saw a little note on the internet about some critic in the States. He wrote, the album of Mark Hauser is interesting, blah blah blah. I give him 2 stars out of 3 stars, very good, but we can hear that there is a lot of Kenny Garrett shining through. And I say, there are 2 possibilities. I take it as a compliment, or I take it as a critic, oh, he's copying Kenny Garrett or whatever. I take it as a compliment, because if somebody puts me next to Kenny Garrett just to compare, if somebody compares me with Kenny Garrett, that's a compliment already. So they say, oh, we can hear a lot of Kenny Garrett. Great, thank you.
It's definitely a compliment, yes.
Because I think he's a great, wonderful musician, and yes, I'm influenced by Kenny Garrett, for example.
Which is absolutely okay, I think. Okay, let's come back to the International Jazz Day. Maybe, again, not that a simple question, but I'd like to hear about what you think jazz is for you. So what is jazz, in your opinion?
Jazz for me, today, I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can talk like that now because I have a certain, I would say I made my own experiences by being a jazz musician. Jazz today is definitely different, I guess, or I think it's very different than 20, 30, 40 years ago. Not because it's difficult to sell jazz music. Often it's very difficult to make out a living of being a jazz musician. But
that's true.
Today it's influenced by many different styles. Jazz, what is jazz music? Is it world music? Jazz music from Africa sounds totally different than jazz music from Brazil or from Russia or from Switzerland or from Italy. It has so many different faces. What is jazz music? The same like it always was for me, and the same it used to be. It's playing music out of the moment, composing music out of the moment, by creating something, by looking to reach a new point or stage, by searching for new ways of playing music. You can play Autumn Leaves the same way they used to play it in the 40s or in the 50s. Some students would say, or somebody would say, oh, you're going to play Autumn Leaves again. They played that 100 million times before. It doesn't matter. If you play it different, then you can create a new way of playing Autumn Leaves. And I think that's jazz music, being creative in the moment and creating something new, something special.
Yeah, which closes the circle. So you actually are developing jazz music, so you are bringing it to not only new techniques but also to new styles, which is at the end your Mark Hauser style. Yes. So this is exactly these 20 years you mentioned already the Art Pepper is a time of development. So you are developing itself. So I understand jazz is something that will be completely different maybe in 20 years again. Who knows? But you are on the way to move it into a direction that you believe is the best and is the greatest. Which brings me now to the next question. If you had a wish, what would be your next big thing? Huh? What would you do if you had a wish?
If I would have a wish, doesn't count that much to me. If I have a wish or not, I just do it. You know, I don't care if I have a wish or not. I don't even call it a wish. If I have inspiration or if I have something I want to do in terms of being of coming out with a new album. If I have a wish, then I wish that I get the inspiration, like a writer who writes a book, that I get a new inspiration of my next album, doing maybe having a jazz album, being influenced by David Bowie. David Bowie passed away. Why not recording a jazz album with David Bowie compositions in a jazzy way? They did it a million times with the Beatles songs. Why not doing it with David Bowie? So that's actually a tip for all the people who hear that out in the world. I'm not going to be surprised when I read it in a month. Oh, he came out with a David Bowie album. I think somebody will do it. But anyway, I don't know. At the moment, I don't know. That comes to me very spontaneous. We'll see. I cannot even tell you. My wish is having all the time inspiration to come out with new things, not to be at the same.
Maybe any plans for a tour or something?
Yes, definitely. I'm working with my jazz quartet now. It's all about the journey. I'm working on creating a new sound with that band, with that group, and I want to bring it out to the people and show the people that there is not just New York in the whole world. There are jazz musicians outside of the States and New York who can really play.
Yeah, I heard rumors about some great musician in I believe in South Africa. Wasn't there something?
Yes, that's actually a new project. I'm working with a musician. His name is McCoy. He's a great saxophone player. He lives in South Africa, and we're gonna do a collaboration together in January 2017 by bringing in some of my compositions. He's bringing in some of his compositions, and we're gonna do for about more or less 3 weeks. We're gonna do it in South Africa and have this I'm looking very much forward to it, very interesting different styles coming together. He's going to bring his South African style of jazz in my whatever Swiss style of jazz. We're going to bring that together.
That will be interesting. So I hope we're going to hear something about that, and hopefully we'll have also some samples audible as soon as possible, because to be honest, I really think it's a good way you're going on, and wish you all the best in that.
Thank you.
And a lot of success.
Thank you.
And yeah, talk to you again next time. Hey, thanks for taking your time, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very much welcome.